Julian. How are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Thanks for taking some time for us.
Yeah, no problem.
Were you, Julian? Remind me. You were in Darius Slayton's draft class, right?
Yeah, 2019.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So you've been through kind of what he went through earlier this year. There was a time where you were kind of not playing very much and had to fight your way back. I'm wondering how much respect this team has for Darius going from inactive, healthy scratch week 1 to not getting a single target weeks 2 and 3, and now he's third on your team in yards per scrimmage. Saquon, Daniel, Darius.
Yeah, honestly, in the locker room, with everybody is a fan of Slay. He's a well-composed guy. He doesn't, speak too much at times. But he's definitely a team favorite in the locker room. And yeah, it's tough to get from that place to where he is now. It takes a lot of dedication and a lot of kind of inner motivation, really, to get where he's gotten. And so yeah, it's tough, but he's fought through it. And he's making some big plays for us.
And then from a big picture perspective, Julian, I think the last couple of years it's 2 and 6, 1 and 7, 2 and 6, 1 and 7. Now 6 and 2. Is there any way to put in perspective how big of a turnaround that is?
It's definitely can't be overstated. That is it's a credit to how we go about each week. Whether we win, lose, the mission and kind of the focus stays the same the Monday after we come in and the following week. And so that's top down. That starts with obviously Shane and Coach Dave's. They've done a great job of keeping it in perspective week to week.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Tom Canavan.
Hey, Julian. How you doing?
What's going on, Tom?
Good. Everything is good. Can you talk a little bit about, you're 6 and 2 now, and it kind of goes off Ryan's question. Do you let yourself think that, we win 3, 4, 5 more games, we're back in the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, I know Coach Dave does as well. You put the season into quarters. The first quarter we were 3-1. The second quarter we were 3-1. And really, if you keep on that path, things look good for you. But you got to keep it segmented. You can't think about the whole picture of this whole second half. We just know that we have a bye week. Obviously, we need to rest. We need to take it seriously this bye week because our bodies need to recover. It's been a grueling, past 2 months. And so yeah, when we come back, we play the Texans. It starts then with them, and we don't want to get ahead of ourselves because we haven't to this point, and so we want to stay on that path.
Okay, and one quick follow-up to that is yesterday kind of a reminder that you guys are a good team, but when you have those little breakdowns, it can fall apart?
I mean, yeah, you just described what football is in the NFL. You might be a good team, but if you have breakdowns, then you lose games, and so that's what it was for us yesterday. Turnovers, penalties. That's the story of the game in the league, and we've done a great job up to this point of keeping that in check. And so, yeah, we're gonna obviously clear that stuff out of the way and handle that. Move forward. We got to continue to be on the right path that we've been on.
Thank you.
Bob Brookover.
Hey, Julian, what impressed you most about the defense in the first 8 games, and what do you think needs to be worked upon when you guys get back to go to maybe another level?
Yeah, I think the most pressing thing that's stood out to me was our situational football. We've done such a good job on third down and the red zone, 2-minute drills, and that's something that is talked about a lot. It's a common thing that coaches say, but it's not just coach talk for us. It's something that we've strived to be good at, and we've done a great job of this so far. I think we've done a great job of limiting points as well. Teams might have yards, but we've been holding them in areas that it meant most, and so that's something we definitely have excitement for, and something we have to continue and something to improve on. I think it's just general fundamental football. I think we want to start games fast. We want to create more turnovers, and it's all things that are attainable. And with that, it's really just communication and just playing more in sync and guys continuing to be selfless each day. That will get us to where we want to go.
And then one other thing I just wanted to ask you was: have you ever been part of a defense that it seems like Wink is able to get guys, and even if it's for 4 or 5 plays, that uses so many guys every game?
Oh, I don't know if I've been a part of a defense like that. But in the successful defenses I've been a part of, my whole life, even dating back to college and all that stuff, it has taken not only the so quote unquote, stars of the team, whatever, to be making plays, but it takes guys to step up in the crucial situations, and that's what it has been for us. You see guys like, from the top of my head, yesterday I feel like Tamon Fox had a really good game. That's a rookie, a guy who's really has come along, who's earned his way, and stuff like that. Guys keep flashing all over the place, and guys need to continue to flash and be staples on this defense, on this team, for us to be successful.
Thank you.
No problem.
Paul Schwartz.
Hey, Julian.
Hey, Paul.
Hey, I'm sure I'm not telling you anything you don't know. You're 6-2. I think your team has outscored the opponents by 6 points. Before this past week, you were the only team in the league where every game was decided by 1 score. We know the good things about that. Can a team continue along that path? Can you guys continue to win that way? Or at some point, you think you're going to have to get better at some things on either side of the ball where you maybe can have a little margin here once in a while?
Yeah, I think it could continue like that, for sure. As long as we just continue to do the important things, which is take care of the football, take the football away, stop the run, get our running offense going, play complementary football. If we do all that, regardless of the score, we're going to win games. And so that's kind of what it's been for us. Yeah, we want to be winning by more and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, if we win by 1, we win by 30, a W's a W. And so that's kind of been our mindset. And is it sustainable? Yeah, because it's really based off all the fundamentals of being successful at football. And so that's kind of what Dave's harps on each day.
It does put a big stress on everybody, right? I mean, in the fourth quarter when, the ball bounces this way or that way, there's really very little margin for error with this group.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the margin for error is tight for sure. But I always go back to kind of what Wink told us right before the season started, in that, in moments, like sudden change moments, say a turnover happens or something like that, and normally guys like, oh man, like we got to go back on the field. He said something that I was like, you should be excited to go back on the field to showcase who you are. I want you to be excited to run back on the field no matter the circumstances. And so that's what I've taken into account and has been my mindset each time we go out there, especially in those pressure situations. Like, all right, now it's time to let my personality show through my play. And I think this team has owned that too. And so that's why you see us making these big plays in key situations.
Thanks, Julian.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll take one more. Art Stapleton.
Hey, Julian, how's it going, man?
What's the word, Art?
When you look at this defense, I mean, I think traditionally people in this league talk about attacking the opponent, studying the tendencies of the opponent. It strikes me as that what makes this defense a little different and how Wink approaches things is that you guys not only look at their tendencies, but your own tendencies. And week to week, you try to change your tendencies so that, if they hit you with a punch, you can counter with something that maybe they haven't seen before. How much of a challenge has that been in the first half of the season? And do you almost see this defense getting better in the second half because everyone is more focused on that idea that, this is how we can grow as a defense by focusing on ourselves, not necessarily how we're going to attack the other team?
Yeah, I think, better now than ever is a time to evaluate yourself, and evaluate kind of what you've done up to this point. Obviously, you want to study opponents, and we're going to continue to do that. That's a part of the game. But Wink has done a great job, and not just Wink, but the entire staff. Jerome Henderson has done a good job. Drew Wilkins has been a huge force in us, in our game tape. Kevin Wilkins, just everybody, top down on the defensive side of the ball. and being really intentional about how we want to go about things and why we want to go about things. If you do, I'm sure some of y'all will do a tape study of the past 8 games or whatever. If you look at our looks from each game to each game, it's really different. What we were doing week 1 to this past game, it's always changing, and that's part of it's a method to the madness. I know people just think Wink sends people on blitzes, but there's a method to it, and that's something that's made us successful on defense. And so, yeah, you'll continue to see that. We want to evolve as a team. We're not going to be stagnant and let people just scheme us up. We want to continue to scheme opponents and switch up how we do things.